Hey, what's up everyone? So I wanted to answer a question I got on YouTube, and this is going to be a mini part question, but this question is from Dan M. Thanks for another video. Of all the different ways, which would you recommend is best to jump into that has the best chance of weathering growing competition and changes in the marketplace for at least the next few years? So this was in my response to my video about all the things that I've done online. So I think it's probably the best way to do this without making a 45-minute video is I'm going to take them one at a time. So in this video, this is going to be, I'm going to focus on retail arbitrage, and in that I'm going to throw in online arbitrage also because they're kind of, similar business model. So as far as the two questions, as far as the best to jump into, I don't know that there's an answer. The one thing I like as far as jumping into retail arbitrage or online arbitrage is it's pretty easy. So anybody with a cell phone can jump into it, even if they only have $100. So I like it from the simplicity, the risk, everything else. You can jump in, you can try it, very low risk. It's just pretty easy. So from that standpoint, I really like it. As far as sustainability and the changes in the market, so I think it's pretty sustainable. People have been buying in one place and selling in another place for millions of years. So I think it's going to be fairly sustainable. I think the big brands are going to get tougher, so I wouldn't advocate, unless you're authorized, buying Nike and Apple and things like that. But there's so many fringe brands and whatnot that it seems like there's plenty of products to sell. I've been doing it for about a year now, and I haven't gotten in trouble with Amazon. Have I had an issue or two? Sure. But mostly that was with commingled inventory on big brand stuff. And it wasn't really an issue. It was just a minor thing. They sent me a notice, said, hey, you should... somebody filed an inauthentic complaint, you got to send your receipt in. So I did, it was fine. So that was there's a lot of fear around Amazon. So I think the biggest risk with any Amazon-based business, now you can do retail arbitrage to eBay, to Walmart, to Sears, all these different marketplaces now, to Etsy, I don't know, anywhere. So retail arbitrage, I speak of it because I do it on Amazon primarily and also eBay. So I speak of it from that perspective, but it can really be anything. So I think that model is very sustainable as long as we have retailers that are selling things. So, I can see over time the brick and mortar retailers are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So more people are buying online. It might get a little tougher, but the margins are great in that business. So, I don't do a huge volume of that because I have other things I do, but I do a lot of it. And huge is relative. So to me, it's not a huge volume, but I do thousands of dollars a month. I don't do hundreds of thousands a month, but thousands of dollars a month is no problem for me with very little effort to go out and source that volume. The nice thing with that is there's really not a lot of skill. Once you figure out where to source it, if you buy the right stuff, you just send it to Amazon, it sells, you're done. So you don't really have to learn it. I don't see that system changing a whole lot. I mean, it's pretty simple. Here's my product, you send it in, they sell it for you, off you go. So as long as you find good sources, I think that's a very sustainable, very good, stable business to be in. I think the risk in that business probably is that down the road, number one, you're at Amazon's whim a little bit. So I've tried to diversify because I'm a little bit afraid of Amazon. They're becoming a bigger and bigger force. So how long are they? I've seen them really tighten the noose on us small sellers. So I don't know how friendly they're going to be to do business with. The fact is they make more on every transaction than I do, whether it's private label, retail arbitrage, whatever. They're making more than I am, so I don't see why they would want to kill that relationship. And I did go to the Amazon Boost conference this year, the big show they put on, and they said at that over 50% of their products are not owned by Amazon, so they're guys like us. So I don't know that they're going to kill that model totally, but they can get difficult. You have one problem, they shut you down or suspend your account. It might be months before you get it resolved. So I think that's the biggest risk. I think you can mitigate that risk by, now I have really good seller metrics. I'm also not afraid to reach out to Amazon, get on the phone, do what I can to try and actually talk to someone or get them on chat or whatever. A lot of people seem to be afraid. I see a lot of things in forums where people have problems, and instead of asking Amazon why they have a problem, they're going to ask the internet, which doesn't make sense to me. So anyways, as far as your question, Dan, that's how I see it for retail arbitrage. So I'll do another video in the next one. Be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.